Very cool. This sounds like it would take days, weeks, years to actually go down each Excel line. Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You could say Copilot is excelling.
I like that.
You like that one?
I
Yeah,
like
that's good. You like that one.
And I understand you're a big dashboard guy here, correct?
Huge dashboard guy.
That's a dashboard monger, dashboard ninja, dashboarder.
Dashboarder, yeah.
Well, it's all those, things that you are. You are perfect to answer today's question. Welcome to Fix My Workflow, where we take real sales problems from viewers like you and work through them like we would on a real desk. I'm your host, Mateo Valdez, and I'm an account executive here at Microsoft. Today, I have the absolute pleasure of speaking with Hunter Evans, a go-to-market director here at Microsoft. Hunter leads a portfolio of cloud security products across the Americas. He is responsible for building, leading, and executing the go-to-market strategy and training for field and partner teams. Hunter, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Happy to be here, Mateo.
Well, Hunter, diving right in, Today we're talking D&D. And I don't mean Dungeons and Dragons. I'm, of course, talking about data and dashboards.
Oh, of course.
And I understand you're a big dashboard guy here, correct?
Huge dashboard guy. Okay. I live in dashboards day in and day out. We maintain a dashboard for our entire America's seller community. Very familiar with dashboards. So yeah, you could call me a dashboard guy.
That's a dashboard monger, dashboard ninja, dashboarder.
Dashboarder,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's all those, things that you are perfect to answer today's question. It's from a seller who works with data but isn't sure how to derive deeper insights from their dashboards.
Okay.
They write, and I quote, "I love diving into data, but I don't always have the time to find original insights. I know there's a way to do this with AI, but I could use a few pointers or stellar prompts to get started. And so could I. So would really love your help here, Hunter, as the data ninja that you are. Can you help us fix this workflow?"
I think I can. And this sounds like a very common case of analysis paralysis, where I've got data overload, I've got all these dashboards, but I don't know what to do with them, right? I can't easily correlate patterns or what the data is actually telling me. So I always say that once is an anomaly, twice is a pattern. And what you'll notice is machines and AI are much faster at recognizing patterns than you or I are. Now, I can sit in a spreadsheet all day and I can put in columns and filters and I can make it look beautiful. But at the end of the day, it's just a beautiful spreadsheet. I need to get actionable insights quickly so I can go and talk to my customers. So what I've done to help demo this is I've actually built a spreadsheet using Copilot to walk us through this scenario and help answer this user's question.
Very cool.
So because we don't want to show any customer data, Copilot's actually really good at generating the data based on what I told it. So in my spreadsheet here, I've had it generate 50 unique customers. I've fed it a lot of information to randomize like cloud revenue and security revenue, things that I worry about in my dashboards and metrics that we track, and things that you'd be worried about as you go and approach your customers and need to have conversations about product usage and adoption and migrations, all those fun things.
All the fun stuff.
So in my spreadsheet, I have things like the customer name, their product mix, their license profile, whether they have partners involved, or they have unified support, and when their upcoming renewals might be. So we know that we like to have conversations that help our customers accelerate using our technology. And a lot of times that happens around their renewal status. So
for sure,
all this information is captured here. But as I'm looking through, I don't see anything that stands out to me that would tell me that this is the customer I need to go talk to now. So in Excel, I can actually open Copilot, and I go into Copilot and I ask it to look at all my customers and sort them into 3 categories. Gather the insights, the patterns that the customers have, and build that list for me and tell me what those insights are.
Very cool. This sounds like it would take days, weeks, years to actually go down each Excel line. Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. You could say Copilot is excelling. So
I like that.
You like that one?
I
Yeah,
like
that's
that
good. You
one.
like that one. So Copilot has built a 3-tier intent categorization. Now, I didn't tell it what categories to put it in. I wanted to leave it open-ended so Copilot could interpret the data and then tell me insights I might be missing. So it created a composite score for each customer.
Oh, wow.
And then it's actually grouped them into 3 categories. So it's got my strategic growth accounts, my emerging potential accounts, and the accounts that I really need to nurture and further develop. So it's built this beautiful table for me. It tells me their license profile, their user usage. It shows me their composite score, and it shows me the categories. So it breaks it down a little step further for me and tells me how many of each customers are in each category, what their average cloud revenues are, what their average security revenues are, and shows me those patterns that it starts picking up on. Now, this is still just data, right? I still haven't gotten really a lot of insights out of this. I know where to look and where to categorize my time, but I haven't gotten a lot of insights from it. Copilot actually built those insights for me. So it's explaining the reasons that those users or those companies, are in those groups. So it tells me if my score is above 60, it tells me their profile, their intent signals, key patterns that it's recognizing. If it's between 25 and 59, that's my emerging customers. It does those same things. And then my nurture and develop, right? So it's given me the reasons that I'm scoring my customers this way, that I may or may not know what's going on. Maybe it's a new account to me, or maybe I'm coming back from a long trip and I just got brain fog.
Right.
And then it's actually defining for me what the trends that are happening across these accounts. So it scores them, categorizes them, and then tells me what the trends are for insights. So I have a ton of actionable data now that I can see and really start categorizing and developing conversations for my customers.
It's beautiful.
Now, I said once is an anomaly, twice is a pattern.
Right.
So I want to ask Copilot, you've built all this beautiful data for me. You've structured it in a way that I can comprehend, and I'm not just looking at numbers on a screen. Where are the anomalies? So, we're getting an average based on these customer scores, but where's the anomaly factor at? So I asked Copilot to reanalyze the data based on the categories and pull out my anomalies.
Wait, so it's not just a one and done. You're not just asking it one question about the data and then you asked it a second question based off of that first question?
Absolutely. And because it's already got the categories built, it's easy to pivot into the next thing that I'm asking. So we're collaborating with AI and using it. We're not just one and done, pull it, use it, and then start a whole new prompt. We're still in the same prompt window here.
Right.
So I have Copilot analyze the anomalies for me. And what I get out of it is a new statistical baseline. And it's looking at things like means and standard deviation, things that a data scientist would look at, but maybe not something that me as a seller would really dig into the details for.
No idea what any of that means. So.
Well, the good thing is Copilot does, and it's able to classify and show the anomalies. So it tells me based on the categories that are there, these are the normal customers that fit that category. Where are my mild outliers or even the significant outliers? So if I look at one of my significant outliers, I can understand where it's at in the customer category that I've developed, and I can also understand why it's a significant outlier. The final thing I'm going to do is take from my anomalies section, right? These are my customers that something weird's going on. So I want to have a direct conversation with them to find out, are they struggling with adopting? Do they need more resources? Because my success is based on their success.
I just want to say real quick, that is such crucial knowledge to have as a seller, because I'm sure I can speak for any seller when I say that there's only so much time in a day.
Yeah.
And there's only so many accounts and customers that we can give time to in a day. So having that, not just that insight, but those recommended actions on like, here's something weird going on. We need human attention on this. Isn't a customer that's just, purchasing something while you're there or not. This is a customer that is perhaps hitting a roadblock or needs more insight, like needs you, seller, to go in and engage with them. So it's just so, we're always told like, hey, let's spend time where we're needed the most, and having Copilot help us do that, it's just magical.
Absolutely. And that's why it's such a great tool to use. So I've got all my data parsed out. I found my anomalies. The last thing I'm going to have Copilot do is custom tailor me an email. So using the data that I have and the insights that are there, go ahead and pre-write me an email that I can use to reach out to my customer. So I've defined the data, I've created the insights, and now I can use Copilot to quickly create something that I can reach out that's tailored to them and try to understand what's going on with that customer in that account.
Lots of fixing of the whole workflow, right?
Yeah, we're fixing their workflows for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that's my demo here. So we can recap real quick. Awesome. We use Copilot to generate the data because we don't want to expose any of our own customer data.
Right.
But if we're looking at the data, we don't have to do that. But we take the customer data, categorize it, look for those patterns and trends that you or I may not recognize. We create those segmentations. Then we look for the anomalies in the segmentations. Then from there, we're able to reach out to our customers and have a meaningful conversation and derive real value from the data that we have.
Very well summarized, Hunter. And something crucial that I'd like to add to that you said before was, you're doing the entire workflow from start to finish, and it's iteration. Like, not all of this was achieved through one prompt, through one question at Copilot, through one answer. Yeah. It took that back and forth, right? Of course, you're a pro at using these tools in a data and Excel context, but maybe some of our sellers watching aren't pros in it. So I would encourage those sellers to know that, hey, it's okay if you don't ask the right question the first time, or if you ask like, hey, format my data this way. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Then ask it again, clarify it, tell it. If Copilot is still not understanding you after a few times, tell it, hey, what am I not telling you right? What don't you understand from what I'm telling you? Coach me on how to coach you better to get that insight and that action that I want out of my data, right? So
absolutely. Structure it in the way that makes it meaningful for you, right? I did 3 categories here. We could do 5. We could do 8. Whatever it is, we can rerun Copilot as much as we need to create it in the way that we need to go have meaningful conversations with our customers.
Absolutely. Make it help it help you best in a way that is unique to you and the way that you work.
Correct.
Right? Hunter, that was amazing. I've learned so much, as a seller, and I hope our fellow seller communities watching this episode have learned as much as I have. So thank you so much for your time, your wisdom, and your energy. And most importantly, thank you so much for helping us fix that workflow.
Happy to be here, Mateo. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Okay, it's time for our next segment, CTRL+ALT+Delight, our pop quiz break. Our question is, in cybersecurity, what does MFA stand for? I love this acronym, by the way. Is it A, managed firewall access? Or is it B, multi-factor authentication? Or is it C, mainframe file archive? Or D, master of fine arts? As someone who went to art school, it's clearly D, master of fine arts. That's the MFA would get thrown around so much, during our painting classes and everything. So what do you think, though?
Well, being in cybersecurity, I'm surprised that I don't see my favorite acronym there. Right? That's what I always thought MFA was. But let's ask Copilot.
Maybe that is the right answer, but you're right. We might as well ask Copilot anyways, just to make sure. Okay. Well, if you answered D, you'd be very wrong. If you answered, anything remotely of or relating to what Hunter and I thought, you would also be very wrong. As the correct answer is B. So that's it for today, folks. See you next time for another episode of Fix My Workflow.